Hey there, fellow Canadians. Ever wonder how our country actually works? It's not just about hockey and maple syrup, although those are pretty awesome. We're governed by laws, a set of rules that keep things fair and safe. Understanding these laws is like having a user manual for Canada. It helps you know your rights, responsibilities, and how to navigate daily life, whether it's signing a phone contract or understanding your rights if you're ever questioned by the police. Knowing the basics of Canadian law can empower you. Think of it as essential knowledge, right up there with knowing how to make poutine. So, let's dive in and demystify the world of Canadian law together. Canada's legal system might seem confusing at first. That's because it's actually a blend of two systems, common law and civil law. Think of common law like a constantly evolving storybook. It's based on previous court decisions or precedents that judges use to decide similar cases in the future. It's like that old saying, what happened before influences what happens now. Civil law, on the other hand, is more like a detailed rulebook. It relies on a comprehensive set of written laws and codes to determine judgments. Quebec primarily uses civil law, while the rest of Canada follows common law. Don't worry too much about the nitty-gritty differences for now. Just remember that Canada's legal system takes the best of both worlds, creating a fair and balanced approach to justice. Imagine the legal system like a hockey game. You've got your players, the lawyers, referees, who are the judges, and an audience, the public. The arena, that's our court system. Canada has different levels of courts, each with its own area of expertise. Think of it like a hockey league's provincial courts. These are like your local teams, dealing with most criminal cases, family law matters, and small claims. Superior courts, these are like the big leagues, handling more serious criminal offences, civil lawsuits, and appeals from provincial courts. Courts of appeal, these are like the playoffs, reviewing decisions made by lower courts when someone believes a mistake was made. Supreme Court of Canada, this is the Stanley Cup final. It's the highest court in the land, dealing with issues of national importance and having the final say on legal matters. Knowing the structure of the court system helps you understand where different legal issues are addressed and how decisions move through the system. What makes Canada so great? For starters, we value freedom and equality. These values are enshrined in our civil liberties and human rights. Think of civil liberties as your freedom from government interference in your life. This includes things like freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and the right to peaceful assembly. Basically, you're free to live your life as you see fit, as long as you're not harming others. Human rights are your freedom to live with dignity and participate fully in society. This includes the right to education, healthcare, and protection from discrimination. These rights and freedoms are essential for a just and democratic society. They protect individuals from oppression and ensure everyone has an equal opportunity to succeed. As Section 5, the Charter, your rights written down. Imagine a document so important, so powerful, that it's like the rule book for how our country treats its citizens. That's the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, often just called the Charter. Created in 1982, the Charter is part of Canada's Constitution, the supreme law of the land. It lists and protects your fundamental rights and freedoms, ensuring they can't be easily taken away. Some key rights protected by the Charter include fundamental freedoms: freedom of conscience, religion, thought, belief, expression, peaceful assembly and association. Democratic rights, right to vote, run for office and have fair elections. Mobility rights, right to enter, remain in and leave Canada and to move freely within the country. Legal rights, right to life, liberty, security of the person, and fair treatment by the justice system. Equality rights, right to equal protection and benefit of the law without discrimination. The Charter is a powerful tool for protecting Canadians' rights and holding the government accountable. Section 6, Equality for all, the Charter and human rights. Remember those human rights we talked about earlier? Well, the Charter plays a big role in protecting them too. Section 15, known as the Equality Rights section, states that everyone has the right to equal protection and benefit of the law without discrimination. This means everyone should be treated equally, regardless of race, religion, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, disability, or any other personal characteristic. The Charter has been used to challenge discriminatory laws and practices, leading to greater equality for marginalized groups. For example, it led to the legalization of same-sex marriage and the recognition of the rights of indigenous peoples. The Charter is a living document, meaning it can be interpreted and applied to new situations as society evolves. This ensures that our laws keep pace with our values and that everyone in Canada has the opportunity to live with dignity and respect. Section 7, limits on freedom when rights collide. You might be thinking, wait, does this mean I can do whatever I want because of the Charter? Not quite. While the Charter protects your rights and freedoms, it also recognizes that there are limits. Sometimes your rights might clash with the rights of others or with the interests of society as a whole. For example, your right to freedom of expression doesn't give you the right to yell fire in a crowded theatre, as this could cause panic and harm others. Similarly, your right to freedom of religion doesn't mean you can break the law in the name of your beliefs. Section 1 of the Charter states that rights and freedoms are not absolute and can be limited if the government can show that the limitation is demonstrably justified in a free and democratic society. This means the government must have a very good reason for limiting your rights, and the limitation must be proportionate to the objective it's trying to achieve. Section 8. The Charter in Action. Real-life examples. The Charter isn't just a dusty old document, it has real-life impact on Canadians every day. Here are a few examples of how the Charter has been used to protect our rights. R.V. Morgenthaler, 1988. This landmark case struck down Canada's abortion law, which was deemed to violate women's right to security of the person. Vriend v. Alberta, 1998. This case led to the inclusion of sexual orientation as a prohibited ground of discrimination in human rights legislation. Andrews v. Law Society of British Columbia, 1989. This case established that equality rights protect against subtle forms of discrimination, such as requiring Canadian citizenship for certain professions. These are just a few examples of how the Charter has been used to advance equality, fairness, and justice in Canada. Freedom Convoy 2022. This recent event highlighted the balance between the right to protest and public order, sparking national debate on freedoms and responsibilities. It's a testament to the power of this document and the importance of protecting our fundamental rights and freedoms. Section 9. Legal resources, where to find help. Feeling a bit overwhelmed by all this legal talk? Don't worry, you're not alone. Navigating the legal system can be tricky, but there are resources available to help you asterisk your school. Many schools have guidance counselors or teachers who can answer basic legal questions or point you in the right direction. Asterisk public libraries. Libraries offer a wealth of information on legal topics, including books, databases, and access to legal professionals. Asterisk community legal clinics. These clinics provide free legal advice and representation to low-income individuals and families. Asterisk government websites. The Government of Canada and provincial or territorial government websites offer information on various legal topics. Remember, you don't have to navigate the legal system alone. These resources can provide valuable assistance and support when you need it most. Section 10. Your role in a just society. Be informed, be engaged. Understanding your rights and the Canadian legal system is not just about knowing the rules. It's about being an active and engaged citizen. When you know your rights, you can stand up for them, not just for yourself, but for others as well. You can challenge injustice, hold those in power accountable, and contribute to building a fairer and more equitable society for all. So stay informed, stay curious, and never be afraid to ask questions. Your voice and your actions can make a difference. Section 11, Conclusion, Law as Your Compass. There you have it, a crash course on the foundations of Canadian law. We've covered a lot of ground, from the different legal systems to the importance of the Charter and how it protects your rights. Remember, understanding the law is like having a compass that helps you navigate the complexities of life in Canada. It empowers you to make informed decisions, stand up for what you believe in, and contribute to a more just and equitable society. So keep exploring, keep learning, and remember, your rights are worth fighting for.